This is the Upside Down. It's an incredible Lego set produced by Lego based off the Netflix show Stranger Things, which you should watch right now. This is rebrickable, and apart from allowing you to create hundreds of thousands of custom Lego models made by fans, it also allows you to create set lists where you can import the sets that you own and build any set or MOC available to you. It will give you instructions, tell you what parts you need, tell you what parts you have, and I'm going to be using it to create the Upside Down. And my goal is to do it for a lot less than it retails for. So let's just hope this works out well. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my massive tub of Lego instructions and transfer all my sets that aren't currently built into a rebrickable set list so that I can know what parts I have currently on hand sorted out into bins. Sets that are currently built and assembled, like this chrysanthemum, I'm putting in a separate pile, and I'll tap into those later if I need them. Unfortunately, this massive Lego Technic Liber is assembled, so I won't be able to use that for anything. Finally, something that's actually disassembled. This is what I have to do for every set. I have to look at the set number and type it in, and then click Add Set. It doesn't take that long, but with the amount of sets that I have to go through, this could take a very long time. That sucks, because those tan bricks might come in handy. I also have a large collection of the Christmas sets that are all put away into boxes, so these aren't going to be used either. What even is this? It's a warning for the light brick pieces. Yeah, I don't even need this anymore. Dang, I didn't even know I had this. This has got to be worth something. I'm just gonna take the hit on this one and say it was my fault when I was a little kid. But at least the set number is visible. Thankfully, I know what this was a part of because there's like 3 pages of a broken instruction booklet. I'll set it aside. Hopefully I can figure out what goes to that. We're cutting it close to the halfway point. Thank goodness, because I'm really tired. What is this thing? Ugh. There's another one. This isn't even Lego. It's cool. I still have it, but I don't know why it's in here. This was my first ever Lego set that wasn't Duplo. So, we found a bit of history. You know, sometimes I wonder how small Lego sets really did get. Come across even more destruction of this poor booklet. You know what? This one's actually pretty cute. This one, though, look at that snot. Oh, his nose is massive. Probably just throw these guys away because I found a complete version of the instruction because this is a duplicate set that I own. Uh-oh. I guess I can't have more than 100 unique sets in one list? This is what caused it to break down, by the way. So, it doesn't have anything to do with size. Can't add set to these sets, more information about this land to plan limits. If I have to pay, because my Lego collection is too big, as you can see, there's already $5,400 worth of Lego, so why do you want me to pay more money? I've decided that I'm just going to make a new set list. It'll still be used in build calculations, so we should be fine. Oh, we're getting so close now. After this pile, this pile, this pile, stuff in the trash, and this pile. This bad boy wasn't built right now, because once again, all those brown pieces would be really useful. I guess that was actually the last set, because the last one is the International Space Station, which I have currently built. So, we got an empty bucket, So here we go. I have 57% of the parts to build this set, all loose and ready to be done. And I'm assuming that number will raise quite high when I include some of the sets that I've built already that I'm willing to take apart for this beauty. I am missing 952 pieces. However, I'm going to need to take some boxes. Consider alternate parts that can usually be used as replacements but are not always functionally compatible. Give me an extra 1%. So that's not bad. Now it's time for me to put all these instructions away, resort them into this bin, and we can start finding the pieces that I need. Well, here we go. My instruction box definitely looks a lot cleaner than where we started. Now I am going to create a set list of sets that are actually built that I am willing to use. So I'm literally just going to walk around my house and look at sets that I'd be willing to take apart to build the Upside Down, which is, in my opinion, a wonderful display piece and will be worth taking apart in many sets. As you can see, already putting in 2 sets that I have currently built has given me another 5,000 parts to work with. Many of those look like they could be useful in building the Upside Down. These 4 sets have added almost 7,000 pieces to the collection, so hopefully now I can build a higher percentage of the Upside Down. Here we go. I've gone from 58% to 64%. Alright, so I'm going through the 2 sheets of parts of the set now, and yeah, this is what I have so far. I've been checking stuff off and my printer was weird, so it got some of the colors really messed up. No one's gonna tell that this is 3 pieces, right? Right? No one's gonna know? Now if I can't find all of a certain piece, I'm just writing down, like here I wrote 4 out of 16, but didn't check it off yet. So now I know that I need 12 more. The process here is I'm kinda going through getting the pieces I need. These 5 black tiles and just crossing it off, putting a check mark. That very clearly shows that I've gotten those pieces, and I put them in. Alright, so I've now gone through both of the papers, collecting pieces like these smaller pieces, and grabbing everything that I can. And I will say, I got quite a few of them. However, there are some colors that are just more rare to own that I didn't really have many of. I can confirm that this is one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen. I'll start putting all my plates and tiles in this little tub right here. Thankfully, there aren't many tan plates because about 90% of my tan plates are currently used in a model of my dog's head. Yep, this is exactly what I feared. I can't find enough tan 1x6s right now. God, where are 12 black L plates when you need them, you know? Yes, but I have almost all of these. Who even uses these? I haven't seen one of these used in a set in so long. I can't believe I even had any of these. I don't even know where I got them. Alright, so I have now created a Bricklink order from one place that seems to have almost all of the parts that I need. Now, I think, or I know, that someone sent in the actual upside down set as a bunch of pieces, because it had almost exactly the pieces I need, even the rare ones like these angled wedge plates in olive green. But what really told me was there was the instruction booklets. I don't exactly know where they're at right now, but I do have the instruction booklets in the cart. Yeah, right here. The used instruction booklets, and it was only $3 for both of them. Alright, so now that I have ordered those parts, I'm going to go through and cross off all of the pieces that I ordered so that I know that I absolutely don't have to bother with them. Alright, so I may or may not have forgotten to get these, which kind of sucks, because I meant to get those. Alright, so I have found where these pieces are in the online instructions, and it seems like they're just used to build up the ground on the upside down side, and it looks like they're barely visible, so I can probably use kind of any other angled plates here if I don't find them at my local Bricks and Minifix. I also have a bunch of tiny bags here that I think I'm going to use to put some bricks in, just for the sake of, easier sorting. I managed to get about 90% of the jumper plates, so there's a little bit of a milestone. Now, there weren't very many, but here's the Technic axles and Technic pins. Alright, so now I'm at the point where I kind of want to find where I'm gonna be able to get some of these pieces, because Rebreakable said that I have 16 of these, and it also said I had 32 of these, so it's time to figure out where. And even though they're just sitting behind a set of an animation, still doesn't really seem worth taking these bad boys apart for like 100 pieces when there's 5,000 collectively between them. Right, well, I was told it would arrive between 3:15 and 4:15, and it is exactly 4:15 when the door was opened. And here they are. Great. Even the instruction booklets are down here at the bottom. This is great. Let's take a closer look at these. Having the paper instructions feel through my hands, definitely worth the $3 spent on that. But let's take a look at these pieces, shall we? So here's most of my sand blue pieces, that I got. Perfect. And I also ordered 100 of these, which I'm now realizing that I kind of feel bad about because the guy had to count 100. Oops. These pieces are pretty great. I'll definitely be leaving a nice reply to this guy. I'm gonna empty out most of these, except for the ones that are actually used in the set, and then use this bag for a lot of these sand blue pieces, because why not? Here we go. I got 94 extra sand blue tiles. So this is perfect to put these where they go. I'm realizing that they now take up half of my bin of 1x1 tiles, but we won't talk about that. Here we go. There's some olive green and sand blue pieces. And I'll just keep them separate, because why not? Now, I did also forget that I got these 2 stickered pieces. This one, I got it mainly because it's really funny, because it says approximately 1.5 inches tall, because he's a little Lego guy. So I thought it'd be pretty funny to have that. And this one is just kind of important to the story. You've seen the show. And I thought it would be cool to include. I'm assuming it's just sitting on a table, but I'll probably display it separately because it's pretty cool. Alright, I've done a bit of reorganizing. I put all of the larger plates into one big bag now, which I'll probably sort out by colors somewhat later. And then these little bags I'm gonna put in here. My tiles are in here as they were. Now it's time to go through this big bag. All right, well, here is where most of the price comes from. So all these big pieces, and just like a normal set, I've gotten an accidental extra piece, which I'm never gonna turn down. I thought I'd see 8 by 16 plates in either olive green or sand blue. So this is a bonus. Okay, so I've finished a lot of the organizing here nicely, as well as I've gotten myself another one of these tubs. Put in some of these big pieces. I don't know what I'll put in here, but I'll figure it out. Everything is sorted out now, so with that extra $45, I've gotten a large amount of these pieces. Before we get any further, I think it's time to write a nice review. Alright, so I've mostly cleaned up a nice big area for myself. So my pieces well sorted out now. I think substitutions now are going to be really prominent. And there is a decision here that I'm very much considering making. And this decision is whether or not I want to just start building it without having all the pieces. Because a lot of these substitutions that I'm going to need to make are going to heavily rely on how the set is flowing. Now, a lot of these pieces I can get now, so maybe I'll go through and try for some of these easier pieces. But the substitutions of pieces that I don't have are just something that's going to have to come naturally as it happens, or else this could take forever. And while it does defeat the purpose of having a nice, fun building time lapse at the end of this, I think it's going to save us a lot of time, a lot of energy, and possibly money. And honestly, I've given it some thought, and I think that's what I want to do. Alright, well, it seems like we're almost at the point where I'm going to start building. It seems like the main problems are going to be these roof pieces that I didn't get from the roof that I should have, as well as this medium nougat faceplate. Alright, well, here's the final pre-building inventory. We got this with a bunch of little pieces, random pieces, big plates, bricks and slopes, plants, bagged stuff, and then tiles here, as well as a big bag of plates, and that is it. Alright, so we've got ourselves a nice little setup here, and I think we are finally ready to begin the build. I am going to do this in the form of a time lapse. However, it might not be quite as satisfying of a build up because I'm going to be going back and forth between my bins and tubs and sorters, I guess. But anyway, you've watched enough of the video. You deserve this. Let's begin. done. I realized in the time-lapse that you couldn't see the tops of the trees being built. That's not a huge deal. It's done. This project took a long time. Probably took around 3 weeks. However, it could have been done a lot faster if I'd really bothered to make it go faster. Total price ended up being about $55, which compared to the retail price of $200 is already great. But when you consider that it goes used for about $350 now, it's amazing. Of course, it's not perfect. The trees are mainly the thing where I didn't have a lot of the arch pieces. So I'd use a lot of gray down at the bottom, a lot of nougat up at the top in the trees, but I think it's amazing. Here is the upside down. I absolutely love that Hopper's truck can be stuck on to the base with a pin piece, and the different building techniques like wrapping the whip around and the trees, they all look really cool. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'm out.